Greetings, soul siblings. This is Natalie and you're watching Goddess Undone. This is the first video that I am filming and plan to upload to this channel, so I wanted it to be a welcome to video. So I want to give you guys an idea of what and who Goddess Undone is, tell you a little bit more about myself and what you can expect from this channel. So if you are interested in coming along with me for this ride and curious, then keep on watching. First and foremost, Goddess Undone is my business. I am a tarot reader and I have several tarot offerings on my website, goddessundone.com. So the readings that I offer consist of general reading with oracle. I also have a trifecta tarot reading which covers aspects of career, spirituality, and relationship. All of those readings are written readings, so if you were to purchase one, I would send you an email which kind of does your full reading and you can read it at your leisure. So those are, three of my offerings. I also offer a live tarot reading which is delivered via web conference on Skype or Zoom, so we can kind of converse and I can give you a reading in a live setting rather than just writing it out and giving it to you and not there being as much interaction. So I have a few different tarot offerings that are currently available. Eventually, I would hope and I would love to grow my business to provide different services and goods. I would love to be able to offer, like astrological services and have like a little web store where I can offer some cool stuff for you guys. So that's the direction I'm heading in, but for now I definitely do have a few pretty cool tarot reading offerings, so if you're interested in that, then you can definitely check out my website, Goddess Undone. Also, my website and Goddess Undone is the home to my blog, which is called Wax Poetic, and the blog covers a range of topics from tarot to spirituality in a more general sense, to mental health. So just, and you can kind of get to know me a little better. And yeah, I really, I've always really loved writing. It's a big passion of mine. I get really into it. So Goddess Undone, I would say, is my alter ego, but it's an alter ego that I am making efforts to embody. She is someone who is self-loving, someone who is self-caring, someone who is confident, and someone who embraces all of her flaws. I find that to be a very important part of Goddess Undone, the perfect imperfection of all of us. So yes, that's where like the goddess, the undone part of the name come from. It's just kind of reference imperfection. So I, on my journey, am learning to embrace my flaws, and I would like to help everybody or whoever I work with do the same, or whoever watches these videos. So that's kind of very important to me. Another thing about Goddess Undone is that she is multifaceted. So she has many things that she's passionate about, many different things that she's interested in, and she works to fully embody all of those things that may be contradictory from time to time, because she believes, and I believe, that those are the things that make her unique, and those are the things that can give her the edge to provide services and content that are unique. I already said unique like 100 times. I guess I'm not that unique. Provide something that's special to the market that no one else can provide in quite the same way. Goddess Undone, Natalie, is also a empath who uses her gifts to connect with other people. So my sun sign is a Cancer. I think that kind of ties back to what makes me an empath. I definitely am able to kind of really feel energies, especially when they're, a little bit more tense or negative. I definitely, kind of feel that without necessarily receiving visual cues or, having people say certain things to me. I just kind of sense certain things, and it can be a little bit taxing, but I definitely think it helps me it definitely helps me to hone in my intuition in my tarot readings. So yeah, I feel like that's definitely a gift. It's like double-edged sword. It's a gift and a curse, but I do feel like for this current pursuit of mine, it definitely helps me a lot. Yeah, so yes, Cancer sun sign, very emotional, very much a homebody, becoming even more of a homebody as I get older. My moon sign is in Aries. So in that sense, I'm kind of a little bit headstrong in the way that I, process my emotions, the way I react to things, very independent in that sense. Like, I kind of just really, there's a lot of fire to my emotions, let's just say. The independence aspect is, I think that kind of comes in more with my creativity. Like I have a lot of different ideas and different passions, and it's like unique to me, and I have like this very strong like internal world. So my rising sign is Libra, and I don't know too much about my chart specifically, but I know it's very predominant in where my houses are placed. In addition to that being my rising sign, and it being so predominant in my chart, I feel like some of the things I struggle with are, people pleasing, things like that. Guess I could be a little passive aggressive. I don't think it's like a major thing for me. I think mostly the people pleasing. I definitely think that Libra energy also is really channeled into my love of like makeup and clothing, fashion, more like visual aesthetic kind of things. I think that's Libra energy in me. I would consider myself more of an aesthetic witch. I really like, witchy makeup, witchy fashion, things like that. I feel like, jewelry, clothing, makeup, all of that stuff is a really beautiful way and a really important way for us as people to express ourselves and, embody ourselves within this world. I feel like, there's many different negative connotations to surface beauty or surface representation, just in terms of, it kind of being like a shallow type of thing, or, kind of using it to kind of cover up something else that you might be insecure about, or something that you use to like help you fit in or seeing a certain way. On the other hand, it's such a powerful tool for self-expression when you really just kind of manifest like the way you feel into how you look and how you present yourself. I'm also a big fan of like cool different hair colors. Right now my hair is pretty basic, but I've definitely rocked a bunch of fun hair colors myself as well. In terms of like being a witch or practicing elements of witchcraft, I am a tarot reader, as I mentioned, and I kind of see magic in everything. There's magic in nature, there's magic in beautiful things. Like I said, I'm very interested in aesthetics and things like that, so I definitely see that there's magic there. I'm wearing some really cool glitter on my eyes. Like, glitter is magical to me. I don't know how anyone could see it otherwise, so shiny things are magical. There's so much amazing things in this world, love. So yes, everything is connected, everything is magic. So I think in that sense, I would consider myself a witch or a practicer or a believer in magic. I know I've said that 100 times, that word. And while I don't believe there's necessarily certain things you have to do or certain things you have to believe or be to be a witch, I believe it's something that you are allowed to call yourself if it, resonates with you. Kind of create your own identity as witch and create your own witchcraft practices. For me personally, I feel like I'm a little bit too early on the road to kind of really consider myself a witch. There's definitely more things I would like to learn. I kind of would want to embody before I would feel like comfortable identifying as such. I'm definitely curious about herbalism, curious about the different holidays, such as, we have Yule coming up like around Christmas time. We just had Samhain, and then like Imbolc in the spring, and like those different type of things. I'm definitely a lover of tradition, a lover of celebration. Christmas is coming up and I am very excited. I definitely will continue to celebrate, the holidays that I, came up with as a Christian. And I think there's a lot of importance to that in terms of, interpersonal relationships and, gratitude and, being present and things like that. So I would like to kind of learn more about the, more traditional holidays that, are associated with, witches and pagans and things like that. I don't necessarily agree in multiple deities. I feel like, there's one higher force, one God, there's that one, spiritual channel that kind of expands and drives through everything. So that's kind of where I am with my spirituality and, you know, my practice, you know, within witchcraft or, you know, just within spirituality in general. I guess you could consider me kind of a new agey person. I feel like that's almost like hipster, as it has a negative connotation, but I think a lot of people, you know, really do pick up a lot from kind of molding their own spirituality. I don't think there's one fixed way. You know, I definitely do believe in a lot of the teachings and the stories of, you know, of Christianity and the Bible. And I definitely am drawn to, you know, some tenets of witchcraft and paganism. I don't necessarily feel like they have to contradict the way certain, you know, Christians or, you know, the Bible read very literally would suggest. I feel like, you know, everything is connected in all the different teachings, you know, Buddhism, Islam, things like that. I feel like, you know, Judaism, they all have a lot of core principles that speak truth to the reality of God and the reality of spirituality. That's my little ramble about whether or not I'm a witch, kind of. I wouldn't necessarily identify that way. Maybe I'm a little scared to, but I'm kind of definitely getting there. From this channel, you can expect tarot readings. I don't know if I'm going to do pick a card readings, but I might come up with certain questions that I feel like, you know, might interest various people and just speak to that and just kind of let my intuition run through. You know, I might do certain things around like different holidays that kind of relate to that in terms of readings. You're definitely going to have some readings on this channel. I'm also going to kind of have some discussion videos where I talk about aspects of tarot from like an intellectual standpoint, you know, and talk about like certain cards. Like I do want to do like dedicated videos to certain cards and things like that. I have a couple in mind already. I actually on my blog have a post that I'm very proud of about the Empress, and I do plan to put that into a video form. I think I will kind of put a lot of my ideas on the blog to begin with, so if you kind of want to see my ideas from jump, you can check them out on the blog, but I think, you know, eventually I will kind of bring those videos to life, or these concepts to life on my channel. I also want to have a little bit of fun on this channel. I am really into pop culture. Again, I really am into like makeup and fashion and different things like that. So I want to have a little bit of fun on this channel. I want things to be a little bit light sometimes. I kind of want to balance it out with some more, you know, deeper, you know, cerebral kind of topics, but then also some more fun, entertaining, frivolous kind of videos. I have an idea of like doing a video about witchy pop stars and witchy songs, because I definitely am a huge pop princess. I love all of that kind of stuff, and I feel like there's a lot of like cool stuff going on there, so I would like to talk about that, and I have a little fun video about that. Also, I do want to embark on a depth year in 2020. I got the idea from Kellyanne Maddox, but I know other people have done it as well on YouTube and just in general. I also do videos kind of dedicated to that, where I will talk about certain, you know, objects like books, you know, maybe a little bit of beauty and fashion, just different things that I am kind of really digging into that I already own, as opposed to hauling or, you know, showing off new things that I just got. So I think that that's going to be, you know, another type of video that you'll see on my channel from time to time is related to the depth year of 2020, possibly beyond, depending how that goes. My business goals for 2020 are to start getting paid for my readings. I launched my business a few months ago, and I'm trying to strategize and figure out, you know, the best ways to advertise it and get the word out there. I feel like, you know, exposure is really everything, so I'm kind of trying to figure that out, but definitely one of my goals is to be paid for my readings. Another one of my goals for 2020 is to delve much further into astrology. I've learned a lot about it this year, but more on like a topical level. I want to kind of really dig deeper and learn about charts and like the houses and different things like that, so that I can, maybe not next year, but the following, or just depending on how everything goes, over the long term, kind of expand my business to include astrological services. So I feel like I have a lot to learn there. In order to do that, you know, with tarot as well, it's an ongoing process. There's so much to learn, and I want to continue to be a student and really embrace that role, because there's a lot of passion to be found in that, and it makes you feel excited rather than overwhelmed by learning things or being a beginner or being an intermediate, not having all that experience under your belt. So for me, I definitely plan to learn more about astrology in 2020, and also I would love to read more. I have a thing where I start a book and I don't finish it. Either I only read like a couple pages of it, or I read most of it and then I just stop. So my goal is definitely to finish more books and to just read more books in general. I feel like it's such a beautiful way to elevate your consciousness, and it's such an engaging form of entertainment that really, inspires and helps you grow, unlike watching TV, which is more passive, which doesn't necessarily, improve your headspace the way reading does. So I think that that's another goal of mine, is to read more. And I want to continue working on my mental health. I do want to talk a little bit more about my mental health journey. I think I will have a dedicated video for that down the line. I don't want to get into that too much here, but that's something, another goal of mine for 2020. Anyway, I wanted to end this video with a little mini tarot reading. I have my tarot deck here. This is one of my favorites. This is the Mystic Mondays tarot deck by Grace Duong. So there's a card that's like sticking up. I keep seeing it. It's just like flipped forward, where all the other cards are flipped back. You can kind of see it right over here. So I'm gonna pop that one out because I just keep noticing it and nothing else is popping out. So, all right. So we've got the Ace of Wands. I would say that this is kind of something to bring with us into the new year. I feel like this is the year of, manifestation, of creativity. So I want to let your guys know that your ideas are good ideas. They haven't been, done before in exactly the way that you would do them. You're allowed to put things into the world and have fun with it. Just take stock in the ideas that you have. And if you could act on them and want to act on them, definitely do that. Don't hold yourself back next year. All right, I got a jumper. The Wheel of Fortune. This is a deep card, you guys. This is a lesson for me, and I feel like for everybody else. In the coming days, weeks, months, even years, I would say, go with the flow, embrace the tide. I think, our urge to kind of control everything, it really stifles us because we get overwhelmed by the fact that we can't control everything. So I would say, just going with the flow and allowing things to come and surrendering to the way things are will definitely help you, because you'll be able to act from, a place from your heart when you don't have your guard up in that sense and you're not constantly trying to strategize and plan. There's definitely a place for strategizing and planning. You're working towards your goals, but I think that, kind of just that daily surrender and that daily embracing the flow of life and embracing that you can't control everything. I think that definitely moves us forward, and it definitely gives us greater joy in this life. So keep that in mind. So I'll give you guys one more. All right, we got another jumper. King of Pentacles. I would just say, I know what this card for me means right now, and I will, kind of give a meaning that's kind of coming to me in terms of the community and anybody who might be watching this. I feel like this is right now about gratitude. So the King of Pentacles, he has everything that he needs, that he needs work towards everything that he needs, but he is not his stuff. He's not someone who is defined by those things. He has all those things because he's done the work to kind of get his mind, his spirit, his soul, his heart in the right place. And with that, things have he's kind of been able to build a good life for himself. But again, he's not defined by, the things that he has. So I would just say definitely practice the gratitude for where you're at now and what you have, rather than thinking about where you need to get to, what you don't have, because that sense of lack will put blocks in the way of what you're trying to achieve and what you want. Again, it kind of ties back with the Wheel of Fortune, just kind of going with the flow, being present, accepting where you are at now, and accepting the things, in your past and the things in the future, and the things that are going on currently that you're not able to control so much. That's what I would say. Just kind of operate from that place of, gratitude and, abundance mindset. Like, you already have everything you need. you know, you're alive, you're breathing on this, you know, earth. You know, you probably have people who love you. You probably have things, you know, objects that you love. You have things that you're passionate about. You can kind of bring yourself to a better place if you are struggling. That power is within you. So just operating from that will get you to your goal, get you to, you know, have and be everything that you want to be. So yeah, so overall, with the 3 cards that I pulled for you guys, it's really telling me that, you know, we need to just really live in a full sense. Live without fear, live openly, live through passion. I think that that's something really that I want to take into 2020, and I think, you know, will benefit anybody who's watching this to take into 2020. So anyway, that completes this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have a good one. Bye, guys.